Hello and welcome to the Beginner's Tatting video series. Today, a special request from one of the ladies from the Beginner's Chat group on Facebook. She's having problems getting her tension right when she's needle tatting. Well, needle tatters have it a lot easier than shuttle tatters on tension because tension is determined by the size of the needle. The bigger the needle, the looser the tension. The smaller the needle, the tighter the tension. Okay, so keep that in mind. Today we are using size 3 crochet cotton and the size needle that goes with it. And if you look at this Handy Hands chart, up here at the top you have little holes. That's to size your needles. Size 3 crochet cotton takes a size 3 needle. Okay, the way you measure a needle, if you don't have the gauge, is you lay the needle down beside the thread. If the thread and the needle are about the same diameter, that's the size needle that you want to use. Okay, so today what I'm going to do is I am going to tat up a little ring using the size of a needle that you would use normally for size 3. Now size 10 crochet cotton, you would use a size 5 needle. The higher the number, okay, the smaller the needle. The lower the number, the larger the needle. These needles up here are assorted sizes. I have yarn needles. I even have needles that you can tat sewing thread with. Okay, so as you can see, they're very versatile. This set over here is a new set that I have just gotten, and I'll explain how these are after we go through the demo on tension. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start threading our stitches on here. We're just going to do a basic ring today, and that way you can see. Now when you're tatting needle tatters, okay, you want to pull that thread taut all the way up to the stitch, okay, and hold it with that index finger. See, hold it with this finger, because as you pull back and you pull this way to do your stitches onto your needle, you're pulling this thread and you're going to loosen that tension. Okay, so keep your finger on your stitches and then put them on. Okay, then after you get enough stitches to make a ring, let's do that. While I'm doing this, I want to tell you guys, I have been asked and honored to do this. Georgia Sites has an online tatting course for beginner needle, beginner shuttle, and advanced classes. It is free. Okay, so don't worry about cost. If you can sit in front of a computer for about an hour, you can learn a lot about tatting, more than I could ever teach you on videos. Okay, and I have been asked to do the videos for the classes. So given that, I'm going to be doing the videos. They're revamping the classes. They used to have shuttle and needle together, and they've separated them. Okay, and by separating them, it gives each branch of the tatting world their own time frame and a chance to learn. Now, another thing that's going on, they're going to have different patterns every month, just like the advanced classes. Okay, so it's going to be very interesting. With them revamping the channel, it promises to be something really nice. Okay, we have a lot of tatters like Mary Lee Rockley, Ruth Perry, Terry Dusenberry, people like that come in the class and teach special classes. Karina Mayfeld, she teaches some special classes. So come on in, join it. It's fun. You'll learn a lot. Okay, now we've got our stitches on our needle. We're ready to take them off. So let's slide them off our needle. Well, let's take the thread through first, and we're going to close the ring. We're not making a chain, we're making a ring. See how I get sidetracked? I think that comes with age. At least my kids tell me that all the time. Mom, you're getting older. I keep telling them, no, I'm still 21. Anyway, we're going to close that ring. Alright, now mind you, this is the needle that goes with this size 3 crochet cotton. Okay, now when we get that closed, I'm not going to tie it off like you do for needle tatting. Okay, just demo purpose. This is all we're doing today. As you can see, it looks a little floppy, and as the piece grows, it gets floppier. Okay, using the needle that goes with the thread. Okay, now crochet cotton is different than tatting thread. Okay, it has a little more give. It's 3-ply. Tatting thread is 6-ply. It doesn't mean you can't use crochet cotton. It just means that it's not as tight of a twist. There's not as much thread in each round. This is a 3-ply. Tatting thread is 6-ply coordinate. Okay, so just food for thought. Now, you see, it's pretty tight for the kind of thread I'm using. Okay, but as this piece gets bigger and bigger and bigger, it's going to get loose. It's going to be floppy. Okay, it's not going to be firm like shuttle tatting. However, needle tatters, rejoice. You have a way to fix that. Okay, and I'm fixing to show you. Okay, now that was a size 3 needle. This here is a size 5. We have stepped down 1 whole size. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to thread this needle. If you can get the thread through the needle, you can tat with it. Okay, the eye. So here we go. We're using our floss threaders. Alright, and it's going to be a tight squeeze. Okay, so you're really going to have to pull on it to get that thread to come through. You may break your floss threader. If you do, you've got more. Okay, now handy hands needles, you have more of an issue with threading. As you can see, that floss threader is not going to let that thread go through. There are other ways. Okay, you can open the twist on the end. Okay, you can dampen it, lay it flat. Okay, and you can thread it that way if you can get the needle to thread. This is the hardest part, getting the needle through the eye, or getting the thread through the needle. Just doesn't want to thread. Now about now you've got your handy hands needle threaders that come with your needles. They're already broke. Okay, and of no use, and it's just par for the course. I'm going to try that again. Maybe if I can flatten it out. It is a job to get it threaded, okay? But it will thread. I'm going to pause this, and I'll be back as soon as I get this needle threaded. Okay, and we're back. Now I've got the needle threaded. It took an act of Congress, and we got her done. So, we are threaded onto the smaller needle. Now this needle, according to the handy hand gauge, is a size 5. You see how it fits through the hole? Okay, now watch this. We're going to tat. Now this is a little more snug in the eye than it was on the other. Okay, and it may twist your thread a little bit. If it does, that's fine. Okay, you can take the twist out. It's real easy. You just sit there and roll your thread. And that takes the twist out. Needle tatters have it easier when it comes to problem solving than shuttle tatters. We have to go around the mulberry bush to solve our problems, but it's worth it. Tatting in and of itself is a beautiful, beautiful art. Okay, and it is so versatile. All right, now you see I'm putting these stitches on, and you see how my finger, my index finger, is following along with the stitches to hold that last stitch, because when you pull this way to do that first half and you go to slide it on, you see what I'm doing? I'm always pulling that stitch. Okay, so you want to make sure you keep it under the index finger. And I think that's quite enough stitches for a ring. So let's close our ring. Now, pulling it through is another issue. You have to work it off. Okay, after you get your needle through, pull that tail through as soon as you find it. There you go. Now, plus this is not gas singed, so it's not as slick as tatting thread. Okay, so you're gonna have issues with it sliding easily. Alright, now here we go. We've got this ring. Fidget with it and tighten it up. Done. Cut that off so you can see the difference between the two. Here's the one using the size 5, and here's the one using a size 3. Can you see the difference between the two? This one here is tighter, stitches are more even, the ring is more firm. This one's a little loose. You can see the looseness in it. And it's bulky looking through here. Okay, you don't get that bulk by stepping down one size, but threading that needle can be a chore. Okay, now we're going to move on. We have done a size 3 and a size 5 tatting needle. Okay, now check it out. We have some new tatting needles over here. They are called Havels. Okay, and they're put out by bestitch.com. Okay, I'll put a link at the bottom of the video for you guys so you can look at it. You get all these tatting needles for $7.50 plus shipping. Okay, they're worth it because a lot of people were saying they want to step down in size, tighten their tension, da-da-da-da-da, but the Handy Hands needles have an issue, which you've seen. Okay, the eyes aren't quite big enough to thread. Now, look at these eyes. You see how big these eyes are? You see that? Now, we're going to step down to, we've done a 3 and we've done a 5. Now, let's get a 4 tatting needle in here. I think that's about a 4. Let's see. One of these is a 4. It's not a 3. It's not a 5. We got our 4. This is between the 3 and the 5. Okay. Now, the only thing I've seen with the Havels is the coloring, and they're sharper tips. This is a different type of metal than the Handy Hands, and this is going to tarnish. Okay, as you use it, it's going to turn brown, yucky. It's not going to hurt your tatting thread, but it can cause it, because you're wearing off the stainless steel or this silver coating, it can cause it to drag. Advice: get you some sewing machine oil, because it's clean oil. Okay, put it on a cotton ball, rub it up and down your tatting needle. Okay, wipe it off and let it dry. Make sure it's thoroughly dry before you tat with it. Okay, now the reason that this turns is we have oils in our skin, on our skin. In our oils on our skin, there's acids. Okay, the acids is what eats the coloring and takes it off. If you're using machine oil on it, after every use, you're cleaning those acids off. so your needles will look like this forever. Okay, so just a little tidbit of info for you to help you out. That's a Havel. Put that over there. Now we're going to get our size 3 and our threader. Let's see if we can thread this easier than the handy hands. I found that the eyes of these are more uniform than the handy hands. As you can see, it popped right through. Okay. And this is one step up. It's a 4. It's between the size 3 that goes with the size 3 crochet cotton and the size 5. 5 was pretty difficult to thread, but it's not impossible. Okay, so let's pull some thread off and let's get a ring made, and we'll compare notes, apples to apples, so to speak. Now, another thing about the Handy Hands Picot gauges, a lot of people are saying they're different sizes. They are. I'll explain. The original Handy Hands Picot gauge was made for right-handed tatters because there's no writing on the back. Okay? Now, the new Handy Hands Picot gauge is writing here and writing here. That's the only difference, besides the thickness of the two. You see the difference? This one is thicker. Why, I do not know. I can't explain it, but I do know that your picots on this will be larger than they are on this. Okay? This one here, even though there's no writing, you can still use it as a left-handed tatter. You just turn it whichever direction you need it to go, because you're wrapping your thread around it like this. So, you know, it's whatever floats your boat, I guess. But I got both of them just to compare, and I find that the picots on this, if you're going to do decorative picots, this is the one to use, okay? Because they make really nice, firm, decorative picots, okay? But for joining picots, stick with the black one. Okay. Now, another thing that I use my tatting needles for is when I shuttle tat, we've got all our ends, and at some points you have to sew them in. If you can avoid it, we have ways to avoid it, but I like to do it the easiest way, and then some patterns it's just like, well, I have to sew them in, and I use my tatting needles for sewing in ends. These Havels will be great for that because the points are sharp. They're not sharp enough to cut you, but they will jab you. So my advice, if you don't want them to jab you, blunt the end with a fingernail file. You see how it slid through? It came through so much easier with a size 4 tatting needle. Okay. Close that ring. There we are. Like I said, I'm not doing the tatter's knot for needle tatting. Okay, here you go. That's the Havel. Now, I don't mix brands of shuttles. I don't mix brands of needles. So my Havels will go in their own case. They won't go with my Handy Hands. There you go. There is all 3. Okay. This one being the Havels, size 4. This one being size 5 Handy Hands. Okay, and this one is a size 3. There you go. Let me lay them out here, right, side by side. 3, 4, 5. There you go. Nice. All of them are. This one's looser, but as you step down, you can see how much tighter your stitches are getting. Okay? if you can thread the eye of the needle with the thread, you can use it. Okay, there is no set standard for that, and that's where your tension comes from. Pulling those stitches on and holding your tension, and the size of the needle. That's all it is for needle tatters. So I hope that helps. I am going to do another video for shuttle tatters, so how to get their tension right and what they're doing wrong, because shuttle tatters have a problem with even stitches and the tension. So I am going to do that, and that will be the next video to be released. So until next time, happy tatting and have a great day. Thank you.